Howdy, howdy. Welcome in to the pre-show before the free show in what feels like years. Hi, bud.
So this is the first time you and I have done a show together since, because I did it with Malpal on Monday. I was out there was no show Tuesday. Yesterday was the Malpal Powers experience.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments how you think that went. I
the week before
okay.
last, like we didn't do one on Wednesday or
I think it was Friday.
Thursday. We did one on Friday.
It was Friday.
But we're batting like
now it's
one out of
Thursday.
like 7.
lot going on behind the scenes, guys. Sorry, I can't apologize for that. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. We are back at full strength relative. Pickle, you've been sick.
Yeah, man, I came down with strep throat.
Let me tell. I maybe told this story. I think I did about when I called you on Sunday. On Sunday.
I don't think you told the story. You told everyone that I moved to Mongolia.
I did.
I did see that. I was like laying in my bed dying, and I was like, I'm not in Mongolia.
So I was driving. I was in the car on Sunday, and I had about 45 minutes. The car by myself. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call Pickle and just play in the show while we're doing this. It's like 3 o'clock.
Really, he just missed me.
And I did. I just missed her desperately. And so I called her, and she picks up the phone. She goes, hello. And I was like, oh no! Ah! You were like, I was just about to text you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the voice modulator or whatever,
dude,
up to your throat.
Yeah, I get strep. I get strep more than any. I think I can easily say I have had strep in my life more than any other sickness, like collectively. And I gotta say, Sunday I was in some stinking pain, man. That was like I got a high pain tolerance, and I was like, this is doo-doo. That Sunday was doo-doo day. It was awful.
Hank's been sick too, but I think it's just normal, like go back to school gunk stuff.
Yeah.
He's feeling fine.
You got to build that immune system back up to children.
He's not feeling
germs.
fine. He's got he's still got gunk. Which is just like a generic term that you use for like when your kid's sick.
Yeah.
It's like he's just gunky. Like he's just coughing a little bit. He's got like runny nose.
That's like the first thing you tell the doctor when you go visit him.
But like he doesn't have a fever or anything like that. So, I'm not worried. Basically, that's where I've landed is like if you have a fever, then something's wrong. If you don't have a fever, like just deal. Like I'll give you some Tylenol.
Right.
Although he is very much so we were out of Tylenol on Sunday. So I had to stop and get it. I just grabbed some stuff.
And of course, it's the little kid liquid Tylenol.
You put in the little like
syringe
thing and just squirt it in his mouth. And normally he likes taking Tylenol, which is
troubling
in and of itself its own thing. As somebody who's running back through Breaking Bad, don't love that. But anyway, I guess I accidentally bought the grape instead of the cherry.
No. Horrible. Terrible parenting.
He was not happy about this.
Yeah. This guy.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. But he's doing okay.
Yeah, this is the first day I've had like voice back.
Yeah,
so we're pumped about that.
Yeah, we can.
It was bad though. Like I literally when I said hello, he goes, "Oh no." That was literally the exact response.
It was a wild ride. But yeah, so thanks to Malpal and Powers for filling in yesterday.
Yes.
Because I was at I was with our friend at Valley Sports Southwest.
Yeah, you were getting photo shoots.
So
Mr. Celebrity TV's very own is back in full strength.
No,
here.
I've got some television news here. Some television news, which is just like so. The Emmys were on Monday. And we were nominated. I was nominated. I guess I was, but we were the team, and I was on the nomination for 2 of them.
Yeah.
Over 2.
Yeah.
That means I am now. Let's buzz the lens here. I'm now a 6-time Emmy loser.
Let's go.
That's right. 6-time Emmy loser. Let's go. Let's ring this thing up. Let's go. We can get this thing up to double digits.
See, the Battle of Beltline thing was my game, so I'm going to count that.
Because let me tell you another thing. Okay? When people say it's just an honor to be nominated, they are lying. I want to win these darn things. And so I've never won one. I've got 2 Emmys. I've never won one for anything besides scoreboard. And they've kind of blackballed scoreboard because we were winning too much.
Yeah.
I think that's my theory.
That's fair.
I'm coming at you, regional Lone Star Emmys. So there was that. The other thing was yesterday we had like a big powwow for high school football up at Valley Sports Southwest. They've got a huge thing. If you didn't, I don't know if I could break. Whatever. We're on the pre-show.
Don't get fired.
So Football Friday is expanding. Instead of starting at 8, it's going to start at 7, and we're going to go 4 hours instead of 3 because we're psychopaths. So there's some breaking news, I suppose, some more tower. But we were talking about that. We got a lot of fun stuff dialed up for for high school football in Valley Sports Southwest. We're having this meeting, but one of the things they wanted to do is your friend and mine, Miss Mary, Miss Mary, who's actually runs Valley.
She's like the Chandra of Valley.
She
gets
actually
stuff
runs.
done.
She's the person who actually runs the show there. Everyone else is kind of like fancy offices, and she's over there like actually doing the things.
Yeah.
She's the head of marketing over there. And they wanted us to go up there and do some marketing stuff, and I didn't know what they meant. I'm really nervous now. I'm genuinely nervous because we had to do like a photo shoot, and we also had to do like they had like a green screen set up, and like we were doing like we had to do like these like promo reads, be like, Valley Sports Southwest, the home of the UIL Texas High School Football State Championship.
Really, he was like,
that.
and you're watching Disney Channel.
Right, exactly right. It was all of that. I don't love being against a green screen. I think only bad things can be put back there. But the other thing about it is that they had us do gladiator shots. If you don't know what gladiator shots is, you do, but you don't know that's the term for it. Is basically you've got to think of every time you've watched a sporting event and they have like the athlete who like takes a step forward like in slow-mo and then like holds the football and poses and stuff like that. It's like the
stuff that you see on the Jumbotron, like get
hyped.
Like,
stuff like that, like the moving graphics and stuff like that. Fundamentally, they had us do those. I've never felt more dorky than like me, guy in like a suit is like, hey guys, I'm just like all these cool football players. Like I am positive that is going to be used for evil. Positive. And that's not because Mary is evil. She's wonderful. But I think that's one of those things I don't want falling in the wrong hands because then it's going to be like me doing a gladiator shot like in front of like a tidal wave or something like that.
Well,
be like, what's up, everybody?
I can actually say this to make you feel better. When I worked for the marketing department at North Texas for those 4 years, we would always do those, and I can tell you that the ones that the people get the most hyped about are when we would have like the kickers come on and try and do like the scream thing, like because you've got the massive like defensive tackle and he's going and it's like, okay, people are cool, but then you get the skinny little kicker out there who looks totally dorky, and it's like people are like,
well, and it's a lot like whenever we do, and we'll start the show
like the walk-ons with the basketball team.
It's a lot like when we did stuff like this.
Exactly.
Right? Of like these guys, and these guys, I want to be very clear. These guys are 10,000% cooler than I will ever be. Okay, Michael Clemens and Damani Richardson and DeMarvin Leal and
It's not
Miles
even
Jones.
objectively true. That's just true.
That's just true. It's just a fact. But like when you're doing these things, it's hard to take yourself seriously because like we're asking them, we're like, hey, like we want you to get fired up, and John Hamilton, who is our outstanding photographer for this, is like, and he's done these before, and he's like, hey, I want you should see some of the ones on the cutting room floor. He's like, I want you to act like you're getting the crowd pumped up or something like that, and like there's no way to feel cool doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, it was fun yesterday. I'm very worried.
It's always funny when other people are in the studio with you too, like the other people that are having to do it.
Yes, exactly right. Okay, hit the theme expo. Let's go! Free money!
How to sing blue vein. Shot glass in your hand.
From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership, here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today, a show starring Ashley Pickle and Greg Tepper. For real.
Objectively.
For real. Actually, this time. My name's Greg. Starring's actually doing probably too strong.
Dude, we just show up and we're here. We're just here.
A show with Ashley Pickle and Greg Tepper. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's the Duchess of the Dorks. She's back. She sounds very good. She's Ashley Pickle. Hi, Ashley.
Thanks. I do sound a lot better.
You
I'm
do sound
not
a lot
even
better.
going to deny
You sound
it.
significantly better.
He asked yesterday, he was like, what about the show tomorrow? I said, kind of sound like a dude right now, but I got a voice.
Listen, you're here. You're here, and that's all that matters.
What matters.
Today is Thursday, believe it or not, August 19th, 2021. It is under 100 days to Thanksgiving. It's 98 days to Thanksgiving. We're under 100 days. 98 days until Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
A happy birthday to... who's born on August 19th? Who's your favorite August 19th birthday? Off the top of your head.
Oh, oof. No, don't have
happy
one.
birthday to John Stamos.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
This is episode 1223. On today's show, Mis Amigos. Mis Amigos.
Nice.
I'm going to. It's prediction season, and once again, I'm planting some seeds for. I'm going out to the segment garden. I'm planting some seeds.
That will
and then
blossom.
they're gonna blossom into a segment next year.
Actually, it's gonna be a withered
It's gonna be like
dandelion.
I'm gonna issue my 5 bold college football predictions for Texas in 2021. Texas the state, not Texas the university. Although it might involve Texas the university.
They are bold.
We'll get into that, and then back half the show, we will hear from Randy Barnes, the new head coach of the Farmersville Farmers, about all things going on there as he takes over the Farmers. He's also got a pretty, stay for the very end of that interview, he's got a very, very, an amazing story about kind of the power of the THSCA and a real personal story that he shares. So I hope you'll stick around for that. Farmersville coach Randy Barnes, we'll hear from him coming up in the back half of the show. Do we have first 4 through the door?
We sure do. It's Tony Blaylock, Rob Hadaway, Hector Rios, and Coach Terry Crawford. Also going to give a shout-out to Robert Vandermeer, who said, hello, Tepper and Pickle, with a bunch of exclamation marks on YouTube. So shout-out to them. Welcome in, fellas.
Hello, friends. Okie dokie, Pickle. As you may know, I believe it's a week from Saturday, we will have a college football season in the state of Texas will begin in earnest. In fact, if you go to one of my favorite websites, lsufootball.net/tvschedule.htm,
it's that season.
Mwah. Mwah. I love you, lsufootball.net/tvschedule.htm. You have to do that exact thing or it won't work. But I can tell you,
to study
I can tell you, 8:30 p.m. Central. Another thing I love about lsufootball.net/tvschedule.htm.
God's time zone.
They use God's time zone. That the season will kick off at 8:30 p.m. Central Time as UTEP travels to take on New Mexico State. So we are now 9 days away from college football season in the state of Texas, and I am here to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to issue my 5 bold predictions for the 2021 college
I know. I was just fixing
football
that.
season.
Also, I just have to say, I left this graphic the same with just the breaking, because when I was watching the show the other day and Malpow, you were like, did you put breaking on this? I just love that. So I left it.
Yeah. So I've got my 5 bold predictions for the 2021 college football season in the state of Texas. Okay. Some of them are pretty bold. Include, I think the last one's pretty bold.
Yeah, you put all your eggs in one basket, my friend.
All right, let's get to my 5 bold predictions. Prediction number 1:
Boom.
The state of Texas will have a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, the Harlan Hill Award, and the Gallardi Trophy in 2021. Now, if you don't know what those are, the Walter Payton Award is given to the most outstanding player in FCS.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Eric Schmid absolutely should have been a finalist for it.
Yes.
But the Walter Payton Award forgot he existed.
If you can't tell, we're still bitter.
But a player from Texas will be a finalist for the Walter Payton Award. A player from Texas will also be a finalist for the Harlan Hill Award. The Harlan Hill Award is given to the most outstanding football player in Division II. Think of it like the D2 Heisman Award. Of course, Texas has a history of putting up Harlan Hill Award players. Luis Perez won it for Texas A&M Commerce. If you're asking me to pick a guy, I think Miklo Smalls, the quarterback for Texas A&M Commerce this year, could be that guy. But I think Texas will have a Harlan Hill Award trophy nominee. And also, I'm going to call my shot, and I think we're going to have a Gagliardi Trophy finalist. And the Gagliardi Trophy, if you didn't know, the Gagliardi Trophy is the Division III Heisman. It's a Division III Heisman. Now, this is notable because a Texas college football player has never won the Division III, the Gagliardi Trophy. Now, a lot of that is because the best Division III team in the state of Texas, Mary Hardin Baylor, how do I put this in a nice way? They play a very unsexy brand of football that just wins. Like, they just run the ball well, and their defense is unbelievable.
Absolutely dominate people.
And their special teams are great and all this fun stuff. But that's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily produce stars. I think this is the year that turns around. I think we're going to have a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, the Harlan Hill Award, and the Gagliardi Award, all in the state of Texas in 2021. I'm calling my shot there.
I was glad that you went with a kind of like some small school hype, like right off the bat. That gets me fired up.
I did think about, I'll say this, I did think about saying Heisman, but I don't know that there's a guy.
No.
Specifically, like, the guy who's probably, in my opinion, the most likely would be a guy like Sincere McCormick.
Yeah.
But so many things have to go right for him to be in New York. I just don't see that necessarily.
No,
so,
like if you would have,
we could be surprised.
Okay,
we could be surprised. Like, maybe Isaiah Spiller goes nuts for A&M. Maybe Bijan Robinson for Texas goes nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a guy at maybe like whoever wins the SMU quarterback job just starts going crazy, or maybe Tyler Shuck, the quarterback at Tech, goes crazy, right?
Yeah.
But right now, I don't necessarily see it. But I will say Walter Payton Award, Harlan Hill Award, Gagliardi Award, all going to have a finalist from the state of Texas.
I like it. All right, number 2 here.
Number 2. At least one Texas FBS team will win their conference. Okay? Now, that's saying something because if you remember, I don't believe, let me make sure I've got this right. I don't believe we've had an outright conference champion at the FBS level in a minute. It's been a couple of years since we've had that, including, let's see. So we didn't have any in 2020. 2019 did not have any. 2018, I probably should have done this before I came on the air with my prediction. 2018 did not have one. 2017 might have been the year Houston won the AAC. Is that right?
Yes.
No, 2017, no, we didn't have one. 2016, is that the last time? You're listening to live coverage of me looking up the last time. Texas had an FBS team, not 2016.
Well, okay, hang on. Are you talking about regular?
Houston won the American Athletic Conference in 2017.
Hang on, 2015. But are you talking about regular season or conference championship?
I'm saying you win the conference.
Okay, well,
so whatever that means.
North Texas did that in 2017.
2017?
Yeah, they won conference. Well,
I don't think that's true.
Oh, I guess they won the West.
2017, they won the West. Conference USA champion that year is Florida Atlantic.
Gotcha.
So I'm saying I'm going on a limb. It's been since 2015 that we've had an outright conference champion from the state of Texas in FBS. It's going to happen this year. There are obviously some candidates I think you can think of, right? I think UTSA can win Conference USA. I think A&M could win the SEC if things break in the right way. I think that Texas or maybe a team like TCU as a sleeper could be at least in the conference championship game, and that could put them over the top. I think either SMU or Houston could win the American Athletic Conference. Okay? There's a lot of different options there. I think that there's enough possibilities there that I'm willing to go out on a limb and say one of those is going to hit. One of them is going to happen. A Texas team will win their conference in 2020. A Texas FBS team.
All right.
I'm calling my shot here. I'm going to say that at least one Texas FBS team wins their conference. I think UTSA in Conference USA is most likely because I think they have the best combination of relative strength to the conference.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we keep saying that that game between them and UAB at the last home game of the season could be for the championship.
Could be huge, or at least for a spot in the USA title game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with one Texas FBS team wins their conference. Prediction number 3, at least one Texas team will win a national championship. A
There you go.
national dang championship. And here's the
Are
thing.
you betting on them Bearcats again?
I think there's multiple.
Yeah.
Okay? And you got to go sub FBS because I'll be honest, I don't necessarily see any of the teams winning a national championship from
No.
Texas in 2021
No.
in FBS. So that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson still exist. But I think Sam Houston State, and really, I think the FCS ranks are going to be very loaded for Texas in 2021. I think that Sam Houston State, of course, the reigning national champions, they have a great shot. I think Division II, I think A&M Commerce has got a great shot in Division II, or the winner of the Lone Star Conference. I've said for years, I think that the Lone Star Conference is, in my opinion, the finest conference in America at the Division II level. There's a huge game. A&M Commerce has a huge non-conference game against West Florida early in the season. That is going to really tell the tale. If they go and they beat them, because I think West Florida is the defending national champions. They beat them. Watch out for them.
Yeah.
And then Division III, hey, by the way, Mary Hardin Baylor.
Yeah,
Mary Baylor. There was no Division
still
III
there.
title. There's no Division III title last year. Mary Hardin Baylor win undefeated. They looked the part. They're back. I think they got a great shot. I think Texas will bring home a national championship. The state of Texas will bring home a national championship
Which
in
would be
2021.
2 years in a row.
Back to back. That's right. Yeah, did Marion Baylor win 2019? Might be 3 years. Anyway, it's not here nor there. Number 4. Getting a little bold here now.
Yeah, this is where you
Now
start.
we're ramping up.
You're heating it up here.
There'll be 3 new FBS coaches in Texas in 2022.
All right.
Okay? Now, right now, I think there are 2 names that you can spring to mind that you think if things don't go well, it's gonna be church.
Matt Wells.
Matt Wells at Tech and Dana Dimel at UTEP. I think those are 2 guys who I think are firmly, if they're not on the hot seat, they are near enough to the hot seat that they can feel it. Okay?
I think there's 2 more that.
I think there's a couple more.
Yeah.
That
maybe
could be
even
in the mix.
3 more.
Okay?
Seth Luttrell.
I think Seth Luttrell at North Texas probably needs to have a good year, or else I think the natives are going to get restless in Denton.
Dana?
I think Dana Holgerson probably needs to win something at Houston.
Or
and
just
I know
figure out a
he's,
culture for
I
his
know
program.
he's had a couple of weird years, but I think that if they bottom out this year, I think there's a greater than 0 chance that he's out.
Yeah.
What
What about Spav?
And then here's the other thing.
Are they committed?
I think Spavital is going to be fine.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to ditch him. I think
Yeah.
that the Texas State brass, although they have a new AD, and you never know when they have a new AD.
Right.
Right?
Sometimes that's more of
Sometimes that matters.
a view from the viewer.
But here's another thing, okay? So I don't think Steve Sarkisian's going to leave after 1 year. I don't think Jimbo Fisher's going anywhere. I don't think. Now, but there's a couple of things here. Let's say UTSA wins the conference.
Jeff Traylor says bye-bye.
I'm not even saying he says bye-bye. I'm saying he's going to get some phone calls.
Yep.
Okay? He's going to get some phone calls.
Yeah.
Let's say Matt Wells, it doesn't work out for Matt Wells at Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they put in a phone call to Sonny Dykes at SMU?
Yeah.
That would count, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Gary Patterson's going anywhere, right?
No.
But so I don't think Dave Aranda's
Aranda's
going
going
anywhere
anywhere.
at Baylor. But I think that there's enough candidates out there that my number's 3. I think we'll have 3 new
Okay. I like
FBS
that.
coaches in Texas. in
Especially if you're
2022.
considering maybe a Texas coach, like if
Yeah.
Jeff Traylor went
Right.
to somewhere else,
Right.
like in Texas.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then here's
the big one.
whew, ready?
Number 5.
And boom.
Texas A&M is going to make the college football playoff.
All right.
I'm calling my shot.
There
Texas
you go.
A&M is going to make the college football playoff. Now, here's why. I think their defense is going to be awesome. You seen the cover of Dave Campbell's Texas football? I think their defense is going to be awesome.
Oh, is that why we put them on there?
That's one reason. I think their defense is going to be awesome. They have 2 big question marks. And if you have those big question marks, I understand it, right? They have a question mark at quarterback, and they have a question mark on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the second part first. The offensive line, a lot of what you're banking on is the ability for Jimbo Fisher and the recruiting that they've done to fill in gaps and be impact players right away. I think that they have been one of the finest offensive line recruiting places in America the past few years.
Yeah.
I think they have guys who are ready to step in and ready to step up. Are they going to be right away fantastic? Maybe not. Maybe it takes a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one thing that I think that they've earned the benefit of the doubt of going plug and play. And the guys they do have back, like Kenyon Green, are monsters that I think are going to be able to hold their own. So there's that. The other one's quarterback. I think my feel for the situation is that Haynes King's going to be the guy. I think Haynes King's going to be the guy. And with so much talent around him, I don't think he has to go out there and be Johnny Manziel.
No.
He does not have to go out there and be the very best player in America for Texas A&M to do what they need to do.
He needs to be disciplined like he is.
Correct. Just don't throw the ball into traffic.
Yep.
Make the right reads, things like that. Furthermore, the A&M schedule, in my opinion, sets up for them to do what they need to do. Okay? Fundamentally, like they avoid everyone who's, in my opinion, difficult in the East.
Mm-hmm.
The teams they play in the East are Mizzou. Okay, that should not cause them any trouble.
Boo!
To me, South Carolina,
Who has been just trash.
and with a new coach, right, in Shane Beamer, and then they play, and those are the only two. They only have two crossover games, so they don't get Florida, they don't get Georgia, they don't get teams like that, right? I think the SEC West as a whole is going through a little bit of transition.
Mm-hmm.
I think
agree with that.
that LSU now their quarterback Miles Brennan got hurt. They don't really know what they're going to be. I think that they could take a step back, or at
They've
least
really just
kind
been
of
a big question
or at
mark
least
since they won.
treaded water, right? Auburn, new coach Brian Harsin.
For the first time in a long time. That's a
They
big
finally got off
transition.
they finally got off the Gus bus. The Mississippi schools. I mean, there are people who are starting to buy in on what Lane Kiffin's doing at Ole Miss, and they do have to go on the road to Ole Miss. I'm not ready to hop on that bandwagon. And then, now there's that's not to say there are not teams that could up and nab them, right?
Right.
Arkansas is better. They are going to be better. I still think A&M's better than them.
You can't fall. There's a couple games they just can't fall asleep in.
Don't fall
and
asleep.
It should be a good win.
Don't fall asleep, right? But of course, all this comes around to October 9th. October
As it does
9th
every year.
against Alabama. Here's why I think Texas A&M is going to be in the college football playoff. I don't think they have to win that game to get in it.
I think they just have to keep it close.
And in fact, if they go, look, I think that game is not irrelevant, but I think if they win that game, then they are of course in the driver's seat to make it to the SEC title game and play for an SEC title game. If they're in the SEC title game, they're gonna be in the playoff,
Right.
Win or lose. If they lose that game, but they win out and they go 11-1, I think they're the fourth team.
Yeah.
I think they're the fourth team.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Because the only other, that contesting
At that point,
it would
you're
be up to an
look,
Oklahoma.
it's going to be it's going to be white knuckle time.
Yep.
It's going to be white knuckle selection Sunday or whatever. But I think they're going to be in. If that happens. And I think that so in a lot of ways, don't get your doors blown off at home by Alabama. Win the games that you're better than the teams that you're playing, and you're in the playoff. I think they're going to do it. I think A&M becomes the first Texas team to make the college football playoff. There it is, my 5 bowl predictions. I'm sure this will absolutely not blow up in my face.
There was a quick question here. If we go back to, let's see, number 4 right here, it was asked, you said there will be 3 new FBS coaches in Texas in 2022.
Yeah.
Are we saying that is at least 3? Not exactly 3, but at least 3.
I'm saying at least 3.
Okay,
I'm saying minimum
Just
3. There could be 12. There won't be 12. But I would say
at least 3. Okay. We just wanted to clarify that,
Yes.
so when we go back and watch this, we can
Yes.
say, no, we have it. We figured
Correct.
it out that
Yeah.
day. We're not just saying
And
he's
by the
right
way-
or wrong because
By
of
the way,
whatever.
I'm saying Texas will win at least 1 national championship. I would love for them to win 4.
Yeah, at least is the hidden asterisk.
I'd
of
love
all
for
of
them
this.
to win 5. By the way, let's also throw out there, this is to go back to this, let's also throw out there that Texas should have been playing for a junior college national championship last year. Cisco ran the table and should have been the JUCO national championship.
And then it got canceled
And,
the week of, right?
Yeah, it ended up getting canceled. But I would say that they've got an opportunity at JUCO as well. So those are my 5 bowl predictions for the 2021 college football season. Let's make sure this doesn't blow up in my face. Hey, Greg, in the future,
Demi.
you look great. Keep up the good work. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Texasfootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Please consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber at texasfootball.com/subscribe. You've told me to stop saying insider.
Subscribe.
You told me to stop saying insider.
Did.
So I'm saying
And now
subscribe
we get the benefit of, one, you
Blah, blah, blah,
saying what we're actually supposed to say, and
So-
two, you messing it up terribly.
Right. texasfootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. I will also say, and I guess we'll give a plug here. So starting next Thursday, there will be Texas high school football games live,
Woo!
and there will be Texas high school football games live on Texan Live. Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Yeah.
We are going to be broadcasting games every single week, multiple games. If you want to know why Pickle is sick, it's because she's been running herself ragged, getting everything ready for football season.
Help me.
But, hey, listen, next Thursday, for example, Carthage and Crosby, live on Texan Live, texanlive.com, to go get your subscription there. So
I think we've got 6 games on
6 games on Thursday,
Load them up, dude.
and then bunch of games on Friday, bunch of games on Saturday. There's never a better time. texanlive.com to be a subscriber and to go and get access to all of the live high school football action. And, by the way, like volleyball is going on right now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we've got volleyball starting every Tuesday and Friday now.
So if you're into that kind of thing too,
Yeah.
go for it. I don't know anything about volleyball. Volleyball has always struck me as the kind of thing that I'm so behind on, like
That's fair.
understanding that I'll never catch up. But I just have such every volleyball player feels like a mutant to me. I'm just like, how are you doing this? What?
I will say
every normal volleyball play feels like a space alien did it.
6 to say, you want to talk about really good sporting atmosphere to be in?
Yeah.
Volleyball gets hyped.
Yeah.
It gets hyped.
Yeah. Anyway. Pickle, while we were at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention a couple weeks ago, we caught up with a number of coaches. One of them, the new head coach of those Farmersville Farmers, Coach Randy Barnes. I hope you'll stay tuned to the end of this interview where he tells a really heartfelt story about the impact of the THSCA on his family. Here is our conversation with Farmersville coach Randy Barnes here on Texas Football Today. Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here in San Antonio at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention with the new head coach of the Farmersville Farmers. It's Coach Randy Barnes. Coach, I haven't been able to tell you in person, but congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you very much. It's just another one of those things that the good Lord has pointed us in a new direction, and we're very excited about being at Farmersville. It's been a lot of fun already.
What made this the right move for you? Farmersville puts out a nice press release whenever you're hired and saying what a great fit you are for the job, and I agree. But I kind of want to turn that question on its head. Why was this the right move for you?
Life's about relationships.
Right.
We know that. So John Rouse was my offensive line coach at Crandall for 15 years, and then he was my soup at Raines. So there's that connection. Well, my superintendent at Farmersville, Mr. French, had been at Scurry Rosser, Quinlan Ford, Terrell, all those times I've been at Crandall, so he knew about me.
Yeah.
So that got me in the door, and I really didn't have to do the big dog and pony show, and I went there and to be the head football coach only. And Coach Hankins moved on to another school, and now I'm doing the whole gig again. But that's fine.
Well, we're awful fond of Farmersville and what they've been able to do out there, and I know that you've got good kids out there, kids who work hard and blue collar kids, I think is a good way to put
Absolutely.
it. I'm interested, when you addressed them as their head coach for the first time, what was your message to them?
My message is this is our thing. I said, fellas, what I'm about, I'm going to talk about love a lot every day. We are LEO. We're going to love each other. That's what this whole thing's about. So started building that. That's what I've always done, based it on love. That doesn't mean I'm a softie, but trying to get those kids to really moving toward being a team, that when you're in that deal 4th and 1, you're not doing it for your school. You're doing it not let your brothers down. And so we've made some great strides in that. Now, I'm going to talk about this too. We've had a tragedy at Farmersville. One of our junior starting defensive players is fighting for his life right now. I just want to throw out there, Cash, we're praying for you.
That's and you mentioned the love each other type thing, because I think that that's so important. I think maybe fans watching, they're like, being a high school football coach, a lot of X's and O's and stuff like that, calling plays, it's like,
it's 1% of the job, and especially in a situation where for some of these guys at some point you're going to have to get after them. You know what I mean? But they need to know deep down that it's coming from a good place. It's not coming in because you want to get after them. It's coming from a good place.
Well, and that's really what you said. Yeah, we're not going to change who we are to get to fix something that can't be fixed in a year or 2 years or whatever. We're going to be who we are at Farmersville and the staff, and good things are going to happen. We're going to do things right, and our kids do have some tradition to build on. They won a state championship in 07. My first loss as a head coach, 1991, we played Farmersville in the regional finals at Mesquite Anby, and they beat us. Troy Redwine. I got to meet all those guys, and I'm bringing those guys back to speak with our kids.
That's great.
They've got to know how important it is, and we've lost that a little bit.
I want to ask you a little bit about what you feel like this team is going to hang its hat on. In 2021, this Farmers team. Seems like there's going to be some youth on the roster. Going to be some younger guys.
But really, believe it or not, we have a really solid senior class, a good junior class. Sophomore class. That junior class doesn't have very many in them.
Yeah.
So we are going to be limited on numbers, but we'll survive that. We're going to get you in good shape, get you strong. We don't ever want you to get hurt, but if you do,
right.
That's the way it is.
What do you think? What do you think this team's going to be about? What is going to be the strength of this Farmers team, especially in 2021?
The strength is going to be this on offense. Brought the same offense we've been running, which is a zone read RPO, and we put and the kids are loving that. I think we'll execute that really well. We snap it every 14 seconds. I feel like we'll execute offense. Defensively is the key.
Yeah.
We got to get that going. Cord Woods, our coordinator, I love what he does. The defense matches our offense now.
Yeah.
And hang our hat on executing on offense. Hang our hat on being able to knock the crap out of people on defense. But I'm not kidding there. And the number one thing is please don't get your head down when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm watching film from last year. Something.
Yeah, a lot of hang dog.
The most important play is the next one, guys.
Right.
But
well, and that's interesting because and you mentioned the defensive coordinator because you say you're snapping the ball every 14 seconds. Scoring's fun, but it also, when you do that, puts a strain on your defense. You know what I mean? And they've got to be prepared for that. So is it safe to say then that you feel confident that your defensive staff and the defensive guys can match what's going to be asked of them? Because when you do snap it that often, there's some strain that comes.
Well, we're going to be high risk. Yeah. On defense also. I mean, it's no secret. We're going to man you up, and we're going to come get you. And, we just got to – I came from 38 years of running the wishbone type stuff and went to this after my stint at Lee and moved on with it. So this offense can keep you in it. But at Raines, we led the entire 1A through 4A in the regular season in offense, total yards, scoring, and didn't get in the playoffs. Now, 5 of the teams in our district were in the top 15 week 7. I mean, you got Mount Vernon and Mineola. It was a heck of a district. And we were there in all the games but Mineola. This offense gives us a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking before we came on the air about that this is your 40th coaching school.
Yes, sir. And proud of it.
Yeah. Let me just ask a dumb question. What keeps you coming back? What is it that keeps you coming to coaching school?
Man, you mentioned earlier the rhythm of a coach.
Yeah.
This is the rhythm. My mother used to say after July 4th, order the turkeys. We won't see Randy till after Thanksgiving. But you get that. But seeing all your friends that you don't get to see because we are a fraternity, and it's just getting better as a fraternity. Now, my friends are getting a little bit less, but I still get to see a whole lot of, Ronnie Gage and all my friends from Region 3 a lot.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me coming back. This is a great profession.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah.
And a lot of great men in it.
Well, it's, the fun of my job is that I get to be, I get to kind of be at least a fly on the wall at the fraternity house. You know what I mean? But you mentioned the fraternity, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the story of your daughter. And I hope you'll tell the folks what happened because it seems like a really remarkable story of kind of the strength of this organization and the Texas High School coaches fraternity.
It is. Meredith, my sweet youngest daughter, she is at Tech, and she's type 1 diabetic, and she got COVID, so that meant it was tough on her.
Yeah.
So she was in the hospital from Sunday night till Friday morning. She got out at noon, and kidneys failing, not all the way, but it was tough. But I tweeted out, coaches, please pray for my daughter, Meredith. And almost immediately, her numbers changed, and I'm not kidding. And the doctor called me at 4 o'clock on Friday morning, and it scared me because the nurses are who called us because I couldn't see her.
Yeah.
I couldn't go see my baby, you know. And I said, oh, is it bad? He said, Coach, no, it's not. It's a miracle. Kidneys 100%, everything's back to normal. He said, what happened? Is she strong? I said, yeah, she's strong. But it was 10,000 coaches praying for her that did it.
It's a great story, and I think it speaks to the strength of the fraternity here.
It does.
Randy Barnes, Coach, congratulations on the new gig. We can't wait to see what you do at Farmersville. Appreciate you taking a little bit of time for us.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of, there's Randy Barnes. The terrible thing. I've shown these before. These are just my blue light glasses.
Yeah.
There he is. There is Randy Barnes, the head coach of those Farmersville Farmers, and I found that story about his daughter really,
That's awesome.
really inspiring about that she was really struggling with COVID, and he kind of threw it out there to the coach fraternity, and he truly believes that it was the fraternity and the prayers that really lifted her up. So
awesome.
so shout out to the THSCA and appreciate Coach Randy Barnes there at Farmersville for being our guest. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Two things here. One, I shouted out the guys who were watching on YouTube, but we've got some Twitch viewers today, and they're commenting.
What's up, you Twitchers?
I know, that's what I was just saying. What is the...
I'm so washed.
I don't know.
This is you have no excuse.
Twitch.
You have no excuse. You're young.
No, you Twitch more than I do. You backyard baseball. I just...
You think that means I understand it?
No, I just watched on Goofs. I didn't even know how to log on.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know.
Shout out Goof. Okay, that was one.
The other thing is, it sunk in last night. I was thinking about it, and I was going through all the stuff that we needed to do, and I realized starting Monday we are back to hour-long, full-blown season shows.
Yeah. So I guess we can kind of tell you guys this. So I talked with Craig Way yesterday. This is true. And Craig Way is going to be back on our show on Tuesday. We'll do our weekly interview with Craig Way on Tuesday. It sounds like so normally Mondays and Thursdays are hour-long shows. When Friday shows are it's mailbag, so we kind of helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
Presented by our good friends at the North Texas Honda dealers. Great cars.
So those kind of go. Those can be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. Those can be long.
Those go how long Pickle needs to get on the road and drive to a game for.
But the other thing, I guess I'll just kind of say this. It's starting to look like Tuesday's going to be an hour show too.
I think that we've got a lot in the bag that we're going to have to.
We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I would bet that
shout out to all our fantastic sponsors.
I would bet we'll go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, our hour-long shows.
And then
Fridays,
full Cruton
Friday's
day.
going to be longish, kind of depending. It's going to be variable, and then Wednesdays will probably still be 30 minutes because we'll still dedicate that to our friends with Cruton. So.
So what we're saying is, if y'all keep supporting this shindig, then the more nerddom that we have to fill. Welcome, dorks. You signed up for this.
This is your fault.
y'all did this,
and
we appreciate it.
You could have stopped this show by stopping watching a long time ago, and you didn't. And now it's grown out of control.
Yeah.
Good job, dorks. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Randy Barnes of Farmersville for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I am Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday on Texas Football Today.